evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network this Friday night for the Bump and Run Street Stock Series. Race number 2 rolling into Five Flags here in Pensacola, Florida. Going to be going live here in just a few moments with some great race action as drivers are putting down the best of their three of their best laps, I should say, as they're going in their qualifying session. When it's all over and done with, we will have the grid for you, but we're going to go to the playing of the national anthem when we come back. We'll let you know where the series stands here after last week's great race. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dustin Caldwell. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network this Friday night. The Bump and Run Street Stock Series rolls into Five Flags Speedway. Tonight, we definitely want to give a special thanks real quick to our sponsors. That is Race Gear, the wise guys over the top paints and designs. Check them out on the web. The links are in the video here, so if you're interested to see what these guys are about, Race Gear has some of the greatest racing gear out there. It's by the fans, for the fans, so you definitely want to check out that website. They got some great news articles out there in the racing world. Over the top paints and designs, majority of the paint schemes you're going to see out here tonight are done by John Hedrick and Over the Top Paints and Designs. And the Wise Guys, that's Billy Wise's band, putting some great show on wherever they go from bar to bar, playing some great venues as well. Have to check them out. Last week, it was a great series opener as we were at Charlotte Motor Speedway for 90 laps. It was Wreckham West Holland, the number 4 car, coming away with the victory. Brian Tribble came in second, A.J. Brissett, one of the rookies, in third, Jason Covington fourth, and Alan Madding rounded out your top 5 there at Charlotte. Tonight being race number 2 of the 8-race series here. Well, let's take a look at the race information while qualifications are still underway. There is your race information on the screen here at Pensacola half-mile track, Five Flags Speedway. It's got 71 degrees in the air, 53% humidity, mostly cloudy, with a 71-degree matching track temperature. It's going to be a good night of racing. And it looks like qualifications have come to a close. Drivers will begin to make their way out onto the grid. Let's take a look real quick and get you your gridding action there. There's what it looks like. My software wants to play ball here. Jason Covington, Stephen Kinney will be up there in the front row. 64 of Jeffrey Wood, 35 of Jonathan Smith back in the second row. 033 of A.J. Brissett, the 96 of Craig Covington in the third row. Looking back into the fourth, the number 32 of Billy Wise and the number 38 of Bad Bob Wells rounding out that fourth row. And running out your top 10 in the fifth row, the 66 of Dote Hoskins and the number 14 of Robert Panic Mattis rounding out your top 10. And it looks like Jason Smoke Hughes, the number 58 car, will be starting in 11th to the outside, the 99 of Matthew Hevener. Ted Quinzel, Niles Clyde are back there running out 14. In the top 15, Ronald James will be to the inside of the 317 of Alan Madding. Back in 17th, Wes Holland will be to the inside of the 22 of Brian Tribble. Charles Lahr, Travis Zudema rounding out 20. And in 21st position, shotgun on the field, Mr. Over-the-Top paints and designs himself, the number 5 of John Hedrick. Again, folks, this is the Bump and Run Street Stock Series, race number 2 of the 8-race series taking place here tonight in Pensacola, Florida. Five Flags Speedway. As we see the pace car about ready to get rolling here. Who will be in victory lane? That Jake's victory lane down there on the other side of the pit wall. "100 laps will decide the fate here tonight." And if you're tuning in for the first time and you haven't seen this series yet, missed the season opener last week, the numbers with a 0 in front of them, as you see Stephen Kenny there, the 076. He is a rookie in the series. That's how they denote their rookies. The 035 back there as well. That is Jonathan Smith, another rookie. So a lot of these guys joining for the first time are definitely making a good statement here in this series. Take a look at the field here tonight. Again, total of 21 cars fielding the grid. As the pace car brings them down the front stretch, we will be at the green flag next time by. Pace car set to go into the pits. This time around, flagman's ready to give the signal. Pace car into the pits. Covington, Kenny up front. Here they come into the front stretch. The green flag flies. We are underway here at Five Flags. Jason Covington still leads the field as he works his way out of turn number 2 into the backstretch. Stephen Kinney, the 076, right behind him, though just about 0.3 of a second off, as Jeffrey Wood, Jonathan Smith battle it out for third. In turns 1 and 2, making their way into the backstretch. That 64 car of Jeffrey Wood back there in third. As a rookie trying to contend for that third position slot, the 035, Johnny Smith. Back behind Johnny Smith, you have the 033 of A.J. Brissett making his way. Trying to get up there to fourth position. A lot of these drivers talking about these turns being one of the most aggressive parts of this track. We'll have to see if any passing happens in these turns. 5 laps to be complete the next time by. Jason Covington still at the race lead as he works his way into turns 3 and 4. Stephen Kinney still about 3, almost 0.4 of a second behind him as they come down the front stretch into turn number 1. Looking outside the top 5, Billy Wise, one of the guys, the lead guy in the Wise Guys band, one of the sponsors for the league. As you see there, a paint job on his car into the front stretch. 32 car there in 6th position. Right behind him, Dode Hoskins, the 66 black and green machine into the backstretch. Leads the 96 of Craig Covington and the 084 rookie, that's Ted Quinzel. And in your top 10, Jason Smoke Hughes. Nice little battle, though, behind him, nearly 3 wide action, as the 99 of Heavener is ahead of last week's winner, West Holland, in 12th position. Ronald James, 13th. And that number 14 car, Robert Panic Mattis. Nice little 4-pack here across the start-finish line into turn number 1. Covington out of turn number 4, coming down the front stretch into lap number 10, still at the helm of the field. As the 076 of Stephen Kinney is slowly falling a few ticks behind.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like caution flag's going to come out early in this race. Robert Panic Mattis moving slow out of turn number 4. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened. So you see the nice little battle there. 51 of Ronald James. Just to the outside, it's going to get loose. He's going to send, I think he's going to have some contact, so that NOS 51 of Ronald James is going to get some contact here with Robert Mattis. And in doing so, Mattis is going to take that Gojo 14 car down to the inside. Have a little bit of contact with that inside wall, and as he comes up the track here, going to make some collision contact with John Hedrick, and oh wow, he's going to receive a nice little helping hand there from the 22 car, Brian Tribble. And he'll get spun around, and that's what's going to bring out the first caution flag of the night. This is the Bump and Run Street Stock Series here in Pensacola, Florida. This Friday night, West Holland is going to go to the helm of the field. Who will be at the end of the checkered flag when this race is concluded here in the next 70-some laps? Find out when we come back.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Five Flags this Friday night. As we can see, the number 4 car of Wreckham West Holland, last week's winner, currently leading the field here, heading in to lap number 21.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution flag comes out again. Got a few slow cars. Looks like it's going to be the 22 car. Brian Tribble. Possibly. Here this. Just another spin out there in turn number 4. Some of the drivers not getting into pit road are going to come down pit road. There we see Wes Holland, your race leader, making his way down pit road. 99 to Matthew Hefner back there behind him. Comes down pit road for a little quick pit stop action. So that'll give the lead back to the number 10 of Jason Covington. As that number 10 car into the back stretch with Jeffrey Wood behind him. Once they roll across that start-finish line, we'll give you a top 5 update. Here's where your drivers are standing. As everything updates, here is what your top 5 looks like. So Jason Covington, Jeffrey Wood, Jason Hughes, AJ Brissett, the rookie, in 4th position, and Billy Wise rounding out the top 5. Little summary statistics as well. 2 lead changes so far here in the first 23 laps, 2 total cautions. And the lights come off the pace car. They begin to bunch up double file as they work their way into turn number 1. We will be back green on lap number 26. It's going to be Jeffrey Wood to the outside of Jason Covington. That rookie AJ Brissett will be to the outside of Jason Smoke Hughes. There goes the pace car into the pits. Flagman ready to give the signal.
Green flag.
And the green flag flies. We're back to the race on lap 26. Covington wasting no time. Got a nice restart here. Out of turn number 2. Nice solid lead as he works his way into turns 3 and 4. Hughes is going to get up there to 2nd position. As Jeffrey Wood now has that 0.35 of Johnny Smith to the inside. Wood trying to work that outside lane, not going to get it as Smith comes up and takes away 3rd position. AJ Brissett back there in 5th, right behind the 64 car as they begin to single file it out. Nice little battle. Wow, did the 58 car of Smoke Hughes go high in turns number 1 and 2. Trying to find something up there in that high line. Boy, he is pushing hard. And it looks like Jeff Wood is going to go to the inside. AJ Brissett now to the inside of the 58 car. He's going to try to come back down and get as close to that lower line as possible. Out of turn number 2, files it up behind AJ Brissett. Right there in front of the 32 of Billy Wise. Covington now into the front stretch towards turn number 1 here into lap 30. Right ahead of him, Brian Tribble with a tough night here at Five Flags. And Coldwell Banker Chevrolet is about to be passed by the race leader as Covington coming out of turn number 4 chases down the 22 car. Johnny Smith back in 2nd position, works his way through turn number 2. Jeff Wood just a little bit off the pace in third. A little bit of gapage there between your top 5 drivers. We see Hughes, who is rounding out your top 5 just ahead of Billy Wise, behind Billy Wise. Nice little pack battle here. Ted Quinzel, one of the rookies, that 084 car inside the number 4 of Wreckham West Holland, last week's winner at the series opener at Charlotte. Holland is going to go to the high side out of turn number 2. He'll have some momentum and pick up 8th position as the Jack Daniels Chevrolet behind him. And I tell you what, folks, Jason Hughes really out there running it. This guy dirt tracks in his spare time, and he might be trying to learn something from that by running up what they call the cushion line. He's way up there, and he's going to settle up behind West Holland, so we'll have to see how this will play out. 66 car back there, Dode Hoskins rounding out your top 10 behind Ted Quinzel. Looking back up front, coming out of turn number 4 into lap number 35 comes the number 10 of Jason Covington. Total of 24 laps led for the number 10 machine. A little bit of lap traffic in the mix to the high side of Jeffrey Wood coming out of turn number 4 will be behind him. That rookie AJ Brissett to the inside of Brian Tribble.
All right, man. Caution
And
is out.
a big
Caution is
pile
out.
up out of turn number 4. And the guy they call Wreckham out ahead of it. We're going to go back and follow the 58 car of Jason Smoke Hughes. Notice he's actually back down in the low commit groove. One of the cars trying to work that outside lane. And there's just going to be a big pileup coming out of turn number 4. And look who's going to cause it. The man himself, Wreckham West Holland, is going to turn the 076 of Stephen Kinney. So the rookie's going to get a little bit of spin action here. Jason Hughes has nowhere to go, as well as Ted Quinzel and Dode Hoskins. They're going to be collected in the bottom lane right here in the front stretch. And the guy who started it all, at Jimmy John's number 4 Chevrolet of Wreckham West Holland, is just going to go on sailing by into turn number 1. So we'll go back and take a look here. We'll go on board with the 4 machine. Holland looking to the inside, has that lower groove. Not quite at door level, but he's going to shoot the gap anyways here to the inside. And just like that, that, my friends, is what you call getting dumped. Holland's going to take it out on the wall as well. In the terms of short track racing, when it comes to checking up and allowing the guy ahead of you, if you are not at door level, the guy ahead of you does have the right of way. Right there was a good example of what it's like to be dumped coming out of a turn. Wreckham West Holland, the 4 Jimmy John's machine, living up to his name. Falls back now to 8th position. He'll have to work his way back through the field. But it does look like Matthew Hevener has gone to the head of the field, and Brian Tribble will be receiving a wave around this time by. The lights come off that pace car. The 22 car gets the wave around. Jeffrey Wood to start to the outside of the 99 of Matthew Hevener. The 32 of Billy Wise will be to the inside of Jason Covington. And Robert Panic Mattis up at the top 5 now has a little side-by-side action with the rookie Johnny Smith. Pace car into the pits as they work their way out of turn number 4. Heavener with the pace.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag flies. We're back to the race. Lap 43. Coming out of turn number 4, Matthew Heavener really driving the wheels off of it. Unfortunately, he's going to get his rear end loose. He'll slow up in that lower groove. Jeff Wood takes over the race lead. 32 of Billy Wise now into second position. We got some 3-wide action into turn number 3. Covington to the high side of Mattis, and there is some big collection there. And not saying he caused this one. We're going to go back and follow Wes Holland on this one. He was right there when the action unfolded, so we'll follow the 4 car. Picking on him a little bit here tonight. See the good hard racing here. AJ Brissett just ahead. The 3-wide action right here. Beautiful action. So we're going to slow it up. See if we can back out the camera real quick here. And it looks like just the result of good hard racing 3-wide action. 0.35 of Johnny Smith up to the high side is going to get spun as Wes Holland gets spun. Matthew Heavener down low. Ted Quinzel. So it looks like Bad Bob Wells is going to make some contact there with the rookie. So the guy getting the brunt of it, the 0.35 of Johnny Smith up to the high side. Coming up next week, next Friday night, the Street Stock Series rolls into Iowa Speedway. It's going to be 150 laps there at that track. Tricky little track that Iowa is. Turns 3 and 4, especially turn 4, has a contour that really plays with the driver's mind. So here's what your top 5 looks like currently. Jeffrey Wood, Billy Wise, Jason Covington, AJ Brissett, and Stephen Kinney. Lights come off the pace car. They begin double filing it up into turn number 1. Pace car heading into the pits. We'll be back green on lap 50. Jeffrey Wood to set the pace out of turn number 4. There goes the pace car.
Green flag,
green flag flies. Here comes Jeffrey Wood. Wes Holland now back up into the top 5. To the inside of Billy Wise, AJ Brissett on his tail. Jeff Wood is going to be passed on the inside coming out of turn number 2 by the number 10 of Jason Covington. Covington now works his way out of turn number 4 back to the race lead. Total of 29 laps left for the 10 car. Stephen Kinney hanging on. One of the good performing rookies here tonight as he's up into second position. AJ Brissett back there in the top 5 and 5th position. Jeff Wood third, holding off the 4 car of West Holland. Side-by-side action coming out of turn number 4, Matthew Heavener.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like that number 8 car of Travis Zudema moving a little slow. Let's go back and take a look. Zudema behind Ronald James. Zudema's going to be sent high up the track, gets loose, and it looks like, oh wow, the 032 car of Niles Clyde is going to get flipped over here into the first turn. Hopefully it doesn't have a bag of crunched up Oreos in that car because they just flew everywhere. But it does look like there's not a lot of damage given despite the fact the car got rolled. And Clyde makes his way down pit road now. Some front end damage to be repaired on that machine as he heads into his pit box. Matthew Heavener at the head of the field. Total of 7 laps led here tonight. Fast lap time, 18.986. Started 12th on the grid. So your top 5 looks like this. You got Heavener, Mattis, Hoskins, Wells, and Covington. Lights come off the pace car. We'll be back green on lap number 60. Heavener to set the pace. Mattis to the outside.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
It looks like race control seeing something they do not like. They will throw the lights back on the pace car. Somebody must have been out of position, so they will go back around one more time. Be back green on lap 61. Heavener looking to get a good restart as Mattis is lagging behind. Hoskins ready, Covington ready on the lower groove. Bad Bob Wells, Jeffrey Wood up to the high side. There goes the pace car. And Heavener takes off.
Green flag.
The green flag flies. We're back to the race. Lap 61. Mattis looking to the inside of Heavener here out of turn number 2. Can he get the momentum? Heavener working that high. Oh, he's going to push way high. That's going to open the door for the 14 car. Down comes Heavener in front of Hoskins. 3 wide action. As Bad Bob Wells to the outside of Jeffrey Wood. Inside AJ Brissett to rookie. Out of turn number 2 into the backstretch. Wes Holland right there behind Stephen Kinney. Or excuse me, Johnny Smith. 32 of Billy Wise to the inside of Bad Bob Wells in turns 1 and 2. Nice little side-by-side action. Stephen Kinney, the 076 in front of Ted Quetzel, the 084 into the front stretch. Oh, and almost some door contact there from Wells to Kenny. Kenny's going to get by in turns 1 and 2. Wells to the high side. Down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Quetzel now to the inside of Wells. Quetzel's going to have the position. He's going to move up to 11th. As Wells challenged from the high side into turn number 1. That lower groove winning out these battles. As now Craig Covington, the 96 car, looks to take over and head to the inside of the 38. Mattis out of turn number 4 has some side-by-side action behind him as Hoskins to the outside of Covington, but he's going to push high. That's going to allow Brissett to come by the inside. Jeffrey Wood to the inside of Hoskins into turn number 3. And now Smith will challenge to the inside. These guys running these outside lines are losing positions quick. As the 035 of Johnny Smith as Holland behind him. And wow, did he look like he was wanting to make it 3 wide. A little aggressive move there from Holland. Holland now behind Smith. Into the front stretch, really getting on the bumper of him. Wanting to get around that Jimmy John's number 4. Take a look at that action. Hoskins still to the outside. As they continue to battle into turn number 3, here comes the 076 of Kenny. Now to the inside of Dode Hoskins as they come out of turn number 4 into the front stretch. Kenny going to push up the track. He pushes the 66 up the track as well in turns 1 and 2. Kenny takes over 7th position. Hoskins falls to 8th. Billy Wise in 9th. And a nice little battle out of turn number 4 as Jason Covington back to the race lead. AJ Brissett to the inside of Mattis.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
The caution flag flies yet again. Looks like the 99 of Heavener having some issues. Let's go back and take a look. Following Matthew Heavener through the backstretch. Here those tires really working to maintain some grip. He's going to hit the wall right here. Gets spun out. A lot of front end damage on that 99 car. Completely missing a front end. Radiator exposed should help cooling the car down a little bit, not so much for aerodynamics. As Heavener now looks to make his way down with that Mr. Bubble 99, as well as majority of the other of the field comes down. Oh, and we have an incident right there on pit road, right in front of Travis Zudema, the 32 of Niles Clyde. Welcome to left turns, Mr. Clyde. Let's go back and see that. We got to see the replay on this. What led the 032 to flip over? That's twice he's been on his roof tonight. So they all start to come down pit road. Zudema to the outside of Clyde here. Everybody starts to come down pit road. And Zudema just turns him. Zudema, I don't know if that was a retaliation move or what that was, but Zudema just comes down in. Should have went around another lap, but just cuts his way down pit road, ends up in the grass. And poor Niles Clyde, fortunately, still down there on pit road. So the 64 Skoll car, Chevrolet of Jeffrey Wood, back to the race lead. The number 10 of Jason Covington in second. And as lights come off the pace car here, we'll have the top 5 for you. So it's Jeff Wood, Jason Covington, AJ Brissett, Wes Holland, and Robert Mattis. Pace car into the pits. Out of turn number 4, here we go.
Green flag, green
The
flag.
green flag flies. Jeff Wood to set that pace. Into turn number 1, A.J. Brissett really on the bumper of the 64 of Wood. Covington to the outside of Brissett. Side-by-side action in the backstretch. And Wood comes back
All right,
down
man,
to the
caution is
lower
out.
groove.
Caution is out.
Caution's breeding. Caution's in a hurry. And it looks like the 035 of Johnny Smith moving pretty slow. Let's go back and see if we could follow this car. Captured what happened. Green light action. Alan Madding in the middle of Craig Covington is going to get turned here. So the 035 of Johnny Smith gets turned. Not sure if it was a netcode bump or what caused it, but Covington, ironically, Alan Madding in the middle of the 3 wide between Smith and Covington gets away, but these two guys end up into each other. See if we can go back one more time here and capture it. So there's some guys getting turned there in the front stretch. That was just at the restart. Here's a good look at the 3 wide action. Covington and Smith with Madding in the middle. Kenny behind Madding. And it looks like possibly a little bit of a netcode bump, maybe some actual contact between Madding and Smith is going to turn Smith into Covington. And Madding will go by to the inside. Looks like Billy Wise is going to get some contact to Covington as well. It's a tough break. So the lights come off the pace car. We'll be back green on 82. Brissett now starting to the outside of Jeffrey Wood as Covington has Holland to the outside. Mattis will be to the inside of Madding. Down the backstretch, pace car set to go into the pits. There goes the pace car. Out of turn number 4.
Green flag,
The green flag flies. Madding is going to shoot way up into the track, into the wall. He's going to just use the wall as a method of turning, I guess. Brissett to the high side of Wood coming out of turn number 4. What a nice side-by-side battle. Brissett has some momentum. In turn number 1, he's still working that middle groove. Now he's going to push a little bit up the track, and that's going to open the doorway for Holland. Holland's going to try to shoot the gap. Makes it 3 wide. Oh, and Covington and Holland. Holland nearly missing some contact with Brissett. Now he's going to bump doors with Brissett. Still some 3 wide action heading into turn 1. Holland just all over the place.
All right, man, caution is
And it
out.
looks like
Caution is out.
Quinzel is going to get turned. Billy Wise as well. Billy Wise losing the bumper on his car. Here's what it's like coming out of turn number 4 in the front stretch. Wise to the inside of Quinzel. looks like Quincel's going to turn at 076 of Kenny. Kenny gets turned. Quinzel goes around. Wise is going to make contact, so he's going to go around. Kenny does a good job trying to get off the track, and Craig Covington, out of sheer terror, slams on his brakes. He's going to go to the inside. And Billy Wise and company down there on that infield, or what you would consider to be an infield, the grass line there before the fence. So as the laps progress, it's getting easier and easier for the 64 car up front, just staying ahead of the Mayhem. And again, tonight for the Bump and Run Street Stock Series, race sponsors, racegear.com, powered by fans for the fans. Got a lot of race gear and race articles out there. Check them out on the web at racegear.com. The Wise Guys, Billy Wise's band, playing some great venues. Also over-the-top paints and designs. You see a lot of these guys out here. Jason Covington, one behind there, running the over-top. John Hedrick, over-the-top paints and designs. You can find them on the web in the link listed in the video. If you haven't done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button out here on YouTube so you'll stay in the know as to when we go live here in the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You can find all of our stuff out on our website at forgebroadcasting.com. Like us on Facebook. Just facebook.com/Digital Forge Broadcasting. And it looks like the lights have come off that pace car. Jeffrey Wood has Jason Covington to the outside, Holland to the inside of Brissett. Mattis will have a missing front end of Bad Bob Wilson to his outside. Heavily damaged, I should say. Looked like it was missing at one point. Pace car set to go into the pits this time.
Green flag.
Green flags in the air. Lap 90 underway. And Holland to the inside of Covington
All right,
now.
man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Cautions breeding cautions. You get one, they begin to breed like crazy. And Ronald James, that NOS 51 Chevrolet, looks like he's going to be spun in turn number 4. Let's go back and take a look. You can definitely tell who practiced for the race coming up tonight and who probably just showed up to race. As we follow the 51 car around. Quinzel to the inside of James here as we head in turn 3. James comes down to the lower groove, and it's just going to be some contact. Quinzel trying to check up as the 51 of James came down. Surely just a racing incident. Nothing intentional, nothing, no harm, no foul. Just a little bit of spin out from that 51 NOS car. So with 8 laps to go, Jeffrey Wood, job getting easier and easier. But he does have last week's series opener winner West Holland behind him. Taking a look at the race summary so far, out of the 92 laps completed, 11 lead changes, 9 total cautions. as lights come off the pace car. Jeffrey Wood to the inside of West Holland. Here we go, folks. It's going to be go time. 6 laps. It'll be 5 to go when the green flag flies. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag's in the air. Here we go. And Covington looking to the inside of Wood. Covington beside Holland. Holland to the outside. Here we go. Out of turn number 4. 4 laps to go. Jeffrey Wood at the lead of the field. Into turns 1 and 2. Working that lower groove. Holland to the outside. Holland's trying to get some momentum. Almost coming in contact with the wall. Turn number 3. Here comes Jeffrey Wood. Holland dirt tracking that outside. Trying to stay competitive. As Covington now to the inside. 3 laps to go. Jeffrey Wood, Jason Covington, Brissett now side by side with Holland. Brissett's going to go around, and that may draw out the caution flag.
All right, man.
And
Caution
it does.
is out. Caution is out.
Rookie mistake by the rookie A.J. Brissett. Letting off the gas goes a long way. And ladies and gentlemen, this one finishes under the yellow here at 5 flags. Jeffrey Wood taking victory. Jason Covington in second. See some of the fireworks on display. Jeffrey Wood. Easy night here for the 64 car once he took over the lead. Just had to stay outside the mayhem. Fireworks there off of turn number 2. And Jeffrey Wood wants to get a little bit of a victory burnout. A lot of cars in the way. There's your winner right there, the 64 of Jeffrey Wood. What a night of racing. Let's take a look at the final summary statistics real quick here. 11 lead changes, 11 total cautions in the 100-lap event here at 5 flags. Final top 10 results here. We're going to put them up on the screen for you as we look to get an interview with our top 3 drivers. So we're going to go live now with West Holland. Winner of last week's Charlotte race in the series opener here for the Bump and Run Street Stock Series. Wes Holland joins me now to talk a little bit about his race here at 5 flags. All over the place here tonight, Wes. A lot of bumping and running around this track. Tell us, how did the car seem to handle?
Actually, it was great. I mean, I kind of screwed myself in qualifying without, I hit the wall coming out of 4 on my first lap, then tried to lock it down and just crossed the line, didn't get a time. So, but yeah, I mean, it was fun. Went to the back, to the front, to the back. I mean, it was good times. It handled great.
All right, is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give for your 3rd place finish tonight?
Yeah, of course, John with Loose Lug Nuts and Jeff, these guys all put it on every week. So, and then yeah, of course, I want to say congrats to Jeff for winning his first Loose Lug Nuts race. It was great. And of course, you digital broadcast. I mean, it's great. This is so fun.
All right, well, congratulations on your third place finish. Definitely helping out your points here tonight in Five Flags. We'll see you next week at Iowa.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you.
Number 10 of Jason Covington joins me now as he finishes second place here tonight at Five Flags. What was your expectations coming into tonight?
Well, I done a couple practice laps and run pretty good, so I was hoping for at least a top 5 finish.
Definitely, you got your goal here, finishing second place here tonight. Definitely some good hard racing. Saw you both on the outside and the inside groove. Which one seemed to work best for you?
The inside, definitely.
All right. Well, is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your runner-up finish?
Yeah, I will thank John and Jeff for putting this league on. It's a lot of fun racing in here. Thank Wes for running me clean and Jeff for running clean. And over the top paints.
All right. Well, congratulations. We'll see you next week at Iowa.
I'll be there.
Looking at the race winner here tonight, here comes the 64 of Jeffrey Wood, talking a little bit about it, doing that school sponsor proud on your car tonight, Jeff. Tell you, this track pretty much became easier and easier as the race progressed. Just had to stay out in front of the mayhem, had some great restarts there, coming back to the green. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on tonight's race.
Yeah, I would like to think my restarts were top-notch there and beating everyone to the line, getting down to one clean. I was unfortunately banking on those cautions to get me to the end. As you can see, I ran out of fuel doing my burnouts. So, all in all, I'm happy.
Definitely a good night of racing, a lot of side-by-side race action. You're able to come away with the victory here. What's this going to do for you carrying into Iowa?
Well, missing last week's race it's going to hurt me in the points, but heck, winning week 2 is a good start for me. Going into Iowa, I feel it's one of my favorite tracks on iRacing, so I'm looking to run up front with the guys again, make another good show, and hopefully finish that one under green.
All right, well, congratulations again on your victory here tonight. Is there any additional thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, to you, Dustin, at Digital Forge Broadcasting, covering all our races here on Friday night. Thank you. All my teammates, Smoke, Wes, Panic, Bob, Alan, Jason, too many to name at this point. I also like to thank John Hedrick for my paints and getting me onto loose lug nuts and racing with the guys. It's a hell of a time getting your first win here.
Well, congratulations again. We'll looking forward to next week and seeing the momentum that you're carrying into Iowa.
Thank you, Dustin.
Well, there you have it, folks. Top 10 on your screen. What a night of racing as Jeff Wood's able to hang on in the caution-filled night here at Five Flags to take victory. Missed last week's series opener, but it comes back in good fashion, picking up the victory tonight. Jason Covington, Wes Holland, Robert Mattis, and Matthew Heavener rounding out the top 5. Brian Tribble, Dode Hoskins, Alan Matting, Jonathan Smith, Bad Bob Wells rounding out the top 10. Moving on back through Stephen Kenny, Ted Quinzel, Ronald James, John Hedrick, Craig Covington, AJ Brissett, Billy Wise, Niles Clyde, guy who went roof up, tires up a couple of times, finishes 18th. Travis Udema, Jason Hughes through 20. And Charles Lahr, unfortunately, having some issues before getting to the grid. So, total of only 20 cars filling the actual grid here tonight. Again, coming up next week, we will be at Iowa Speedway for 150 laps of good street stock racing action. If you haven't done so already, check out Loose Lug Nuts, racegear.com. Again, one final look at our sponsors. Right there, racegear.com, the wise guys, over-the-top paints and designs. We will be back Monday night with the Short Track National Showdown Street Stock Series. That is going to do it for us here tonight, folks. As always, hit that like button on Facebook. Hit subscribe here on YouTube to stay in the know as to when we go live. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, and we'll see you next time. Good night.